There's a volcano erupting right now that you will never see on the news. It's underwater. And there are more of these than every volcano on land. Combined, every island chain you've ever seen a photo of started exactly like this. Scientists estimate there are over 1 million underwater volcanoes on Earth. Most erupt quietly for centuries without a single person noticing. But every so often, one of them breaks the surface and becomes new land. On November 14th, 1963, that happened off the coast of Iceland. A fishing crew watched the ocean itself catch fire as a brand new island rose out of the sea. They named it Surtsey. It's still there today. So how does a volcano turn open ocean into solid ground? It starts kilometers below the surface, in a magma chamber built into the seafloor itself. Pressure builds the same way it does on land. Rock breaks, magma finds a path, and it starts to rise. But underwater, the ocean itself becomes part of the eruption. When lava meets seawater, it doesn't just cool. It explodes into steam, glass, and ash. Layer after layer, eruption after eruption, that debris starts stacking on the ocean floor. For years, sometimes centuries, nothing breaks the surface. The volcano is building in silence. Then, one eruption is enough. The peak clears the waterline, and for the first time, there's land where there used to be open sea. This is exactly how the Hawaiian Islands were built, one after another, over millions of years. Not by one volcano, but by a fixed hotspot in the mantle, with the Pacific plate sliding slowly over the top of it. As the plate moves, the old volcano gets carried away from the hotspot, and a new one starts building behind it. That's why the Hawaiian Islands form a chain, each one older than the last as you move northwest. But the chain isn't finished. About 20 miles off the coast of the Big Island, a new volcano is already rising from the seafloor right now. It's called Lōʻihi, and it's been erupting on and off for hundreds of thousands of years, completely out of sight. Right now, its summit sits about 3,000 feet below the surface. At its current rate of growth, it could break through and become Hawaii's next island in roughly 10,000 years. In geological terms, that's almost tomorrow. Underwater volcanoes don't just build land. In some places, they build entire ecosystems that have nothing to do with the sun. Around volcanic vents on the seafloor, mineral-rich water blasts out at temperatures over 700 degrees Fahrenheit. Some of these vents, known as black smokers, build mineral chimneys that can grow taller than a 10-story building. It should be lifeless down there. Instead, it's covered in giant tube worms, blind shrimp and bacteria that get their energy from chemicals instead of sunlight. Scientists call it chemosynthesis, and until these vents were discovered in 1977, nobody thought life like this could exist at all. It changed how we think about life on Earth, and where else in the universe it might be hiding in the dark oceans of moons like Europa and Enceladus. Some vent fields, like one nicknamed the Lost City, have been venting continuously for over 100,000 years without stopping. Every one of those ecosystems exists because a volcano, somewhere below, never stopped venting heat into the water above it. And underwater volcanoes don't just build islands one at a time. Some of them are almost unimaginably large. In 2013, researchers confirmed that a massive structure in the Pacific called Tamu Massif isn't a cluster of volcanoes. It's a single one. Its footprint covers roughly the size of New Mexico, sitting quietly under nearly 2 miles of ocean. It's one of the largest single volcanoes ever discovered anywhere in our solar system, and almost nobody has heard of it. But almost none of this was mapped by looking. We've charted more of the surface of Mars than we have of our own ocean floor. Less than a quarter of the seafloor has been surveyed in real detail. Most of what's left is stitched together from rough satellite estimates. So how do scientists find a volcano hidden under thousands of feet of water they can't see? Research ships tow sonar equipment that fires sound waves straight down and times exactly how long they take to bounce back. Do that millions of times along a ship's path, and a map of the seafloor starts to emerge, ridge by ridge, peak by peak. That's how Tamu Massif was finally measured properly, and how Lōʻihi's growth gets tracked year after year. Increasingly, autonomous underwater vehicles do the same work without a crew, diving for days at a time into places no person has ever seen. Every new survey adds detail we simply didn't have before, and sometimes uncovers volcanoes nobody knew were there at all. Even so, at the current pace, most of the ocean floor won't be fully mapped for decades. The same mechanism that built Hawaii also built the volcanoes along the Pacific Ring of Fire, where most of the world's underwater eruptions happen. It's not a coincidence that this ring follows the edges of tectonic plates almost exactly. Because so much of this happens completely out of sight, scientists have started wiring the ocean floor itself with instruments. Axial Seamount off the coast of Oregon is now one of the most closely monitored volcanoes on the planet, connected to land by a fiber optic cable running along the seafloor. It streams data in real time, seismic activity, temperature, pressure, so researchers can watch an eruption build before it happens. In the Caribbean, a volcano called Kikimjene is watched for a different reason. It sits close enough to the surface that a large eruption could send a wave toward nearby islands, so ships are required to stay clear of the area entirely. Not every underwater eruption stays quiet. It was the loudest sound recorded on Earth in over a century, since Krakatoa erupted in 1883. On January 15, 2022, an underwater volcano called Hunga Tonga erupted so violently it was heard over 6,000 miles away in Alaska. The blast sent a plume of ash and water vapor 57 kilometers into the sky, higher than any eruption ever recorded by modern instruments. Its shockwaves circled the entire planet several times and was picked up by weather sensors as far away as the UK. It triggered tsunami waves across the entire Pacific Ocean and briefly wiped the small islands sitting above it off the map. It also blasted an estimated 150 million tons of water vapor into the stratosphere, enough to measurably warm the atmosphere for years afterward. It's a reminder that the same process that builds new land quietly over centuries can erase it again in minutes. Underwater volcanoes aren't rare accidents. They're the direct result of where Earth's plates meet, grind, and pull apart. Most of them will never break the surface. Some, like Lōʻihi, are already on their way. And every island you've ever stood on, every coastline, every stretch of new land, started exactly the way Surtsey did, as a volcano nobody could see, building in silence, until one day it wasn't underwater anymore.